Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Laurie Smith on Blog Talk Radio. It is January the 7th, 5:30 a.m. Calgary, Alberta time, and bright and early over here, just having a coffee and waking up. And I'm just happy to be here this morning just to bring you some more information. This is one child abuse survivor to another, and I just welcome you to the show, and we're just going to finish up to the crisis coping lists and that I had found, and we've been talking about throughout the last week or so. And there's some good information here. I have a guest call-in number if you're interested in phoning. That's area code 917-889-3736. And you're more than welcome to phone in with topic-related information, or if you have something that's worked for you in the past to help you cope with maybe post-traumatic stress disorder or just the various disorders that can accompany abuse. And if you wanted to just say hello and have something helpful for the listeners, please do phone in. And I also have a chat window up that is, I typed in a whole bunch of information there, and you're more than welcome to sit in the chat room if you don't feel like coming on the air, and you can just hang out there and be comfortable. And if you want to leave a message, you're more than welcome to, or if I can help you find information, please let me know. That's what I'm here to do. And I have stuff typed up in there about the resources that I'm using, and if you want to leave a question or if you have a comment, please make sure you put private if you want it to stay between you and me, so I don't read it out on the air. And we'll just start looking here at what we continue on here of what we were looking at yesterday, which was coping lists. And I thought this website was really good, www.irvingstudios.com, and that's Michael C. Irving. He's a psychotherapist and sculptor, a PhD psychotherapist and sculptor up here in Canada, and he is the originator, the creator and founder of the Child Abuse Monument in Toronto, Ontario. And I went on their website, and that's how I found this information. I just went to their website and checked out under self-care, and under there I saw a whole bunch of different tabs or little things you can click on, and there was one for adult survivors. So I clicked on that, and it took me to coping lists. So that's where I got that information, and it's a great website, a good resource for anyone who's been through this and who's survived child abuse. And I just recommend it to anyone who's looking for some good information. And he has an article called "Creating and Use Personalized Coping Lists." So I thought I'd just keep reading from this. I've been reading straight from the pages this whole last week or two. And he has managing a crisis here. We already went through managing a crisis, but I didn't go so much into the grounding. I didn't read all the grounding stuff, and I think the grounding is very important. There's visual grounding, physical grounding, cognitive grounding, and grounding through breathing. So I think that's what we'll look at today, because when you're in the middle of a crisis, there's things you can do. If, for instance, if I have a flashback and it's really uncomfortable for me, there's lots of things that I can do to bring myself back around to feeling good and feeling safe and feeling okay about the whole thing. So, and I'm not a counselor, and not legally able to give anyone advice or anything like that. I'm just searching out my own healing, and I'm just one child abuse survivor out there looking around to see what is available to people who need a hand, and that's why I'm passing this on to you. So I would suggest, if you're really suffering and you're really having a hard time and you've been through abuse and trauma, really to reach out and get the professional care that you would need. And I know I myself will possibly in the future actually do some of that, look for some real treatments and get some real professional care, because it's important. We really need to look after ourselves. And if you survived an abusive childhood, obviously most of us weren't taught to look after ourselves. So I'm just going to say it right now, how important it really is. And just to make sure that you get yourself well and realize that there is hope and help, and that we do matter and we do count. And so I'm just happy to bring this information to you. And if you're sitting in the switchboard and you do phone in, make sure you hang on for a minute, because sometimes I don't see the callers, and then I keep reading, and then I might not see you. So I'm going to try to remember to look at my switchboard just in case. So I'll start reading here. Managing a crisis. What to do in a crisis is probably the most important list you can have. When you are feeling overwhelmed, is the most difficult time to know what you should do to stabilize. Managing a crisis is about lowering the degree of suffering you are in and reconnecting with some form of empowerment and hope. You do not have to continue to suffer. This is what Michael C. Irving's written here. The worst thing you faced was the original abuse, and you made it through that. Now you can find a way to manage the memories and flashbacks that occur. Using your personal ways of grounding and turning to other people are important at times of crisis. You do not have to be alone with your despair, he says. Call a friend, support group member, or therapist. And I belong to a lot of support groups, child abuse survivors, a safe place for survivors and supporters. That's on the web, and it's a good website. And also, it's a community of survivors of child abuse. And I'm a member there. And you can get involved with these groups, and you don't even have to use your real name in the chat rooms. People don't know, they wouldn't necessarily have to know your real name, and you can talk to people who have dealt with the same things and are going through the same things, and it's nice to have that support. It's sad that there's so many people out there who have been abused, but at least we know that there are people out there who can kind of help get us through the hard times. So that's why I joined that. And also I belong to Silver Braid, the Silver Braid organization, and that's another great resource for people who are trying to network with people who have been there and know what it's like and can offer some good healing tips. So we already went through what to do for making a list for what to do in a crisis, but we'll look at some visual grounding. Make eye contact with external objects. Look at things in the distance and up close. Look at pictures or photographs which have a calming effect on you. Draw a picture which represents safety. Look at yourself in the mirror. In the mirror, notice your age now, that you are not the same person as when you were abused. Physical changes. Verbalize what you see in yourself. And here's some grounding physical. He writes, while standing or sitting down, feel the floor supporting your entire body. Lay down and feel the surface of your back on the floor. Try walking around the room, paying attention to how your feet make contact with the ground. This is to get some physical grounding, right? Stretch and roll your head and neck. Stretch your whole body. During a flashback, stamp feet while walking. Keep head upright. Make noise or sounds that ground you and give you energy and alertness. And make physical contact with a safe person or object. Give yourself a hug. That's important. I think we should all give ourselves a hug. Sit with both feet on the floor, legs uncrossed. Hold your posture upright. Hold your own hand. Hold on to a meaningful object. I've actually held my own hand before, and it really does help. Grounding, cognitive. Tell yourself reassuring thoughts, such as, you are an adult now, and you are safe. People care about you and do not abuse you now. This flashback is just a memory in your mind. You have strengths and resources that you can use. Have your adult self reassure and protect your inner child. I have done some work on that, not a lot, and I want to get some resource material on the inner child. I don't know a whole lot about it. Actually, I really should just say I don't know anything about it. I do know that there is an inner child because mine was just raging for so long, and you can see that in my blogs. If you ever want to check out my blogs, I have a personal blog, not so fond memories growing up in an abusive home, and that's on Blogger. And also Promote Positive Change for Human Rights Abuses. That's also on Blogger. That was for a course at Mount Royal University. But the other one's my personal blog, and there's lots of information there. I knew I had an inner child, and my inner child was very wounded. And so I did actually a little bit of work, but I'd like to do some more. Remind yourself where you are. Notice what you are wearing. A reality check. Focus on objects in your surroundings. Name them one at a time. Write reassuring thoughts and affirmations on index cards and keep them handy. Write your thoughts, focusing on how you would like to feel and what you can do to get yourself there. I do stuff like that, proactive, kind of looking at where I'm at and then writing down how I can get myself to where I want to be. I actually do lots of that. Read a yearbook, letters, cards, certificates that point out your accomplishments or positive things that others have said about you. And read inspirational writing like Chicken Soup for the Soul or Simple Abundance. Create your own positive affirmations. So this is what he's saying we can do for cognitive grounding. And then he has there's lots more there. He has grounding through breathing for it. Like if you want to, I actually do lots of maybe not good breathing techniques, but when I'm feeling stressed out or over anxious, I do actually concentrate on my breathing. For a moment, focus only on your breath. Pay attention to breathing in and out. Breathe evenly and calmly, feeling your lungs expand with oxygen when you inhale and deflate when you exhale. Place your hand on your abdominal area and feel your stomach expand outward when you inhale. Imagine breathing the freshness of nature. Each time you inhale, say a calming statement to yourself, such as, I am breathing in calm air. I am safe. I am inhaling calm air, and I am exhaling anxiety, toxins, the pain. That's a good idea, right? Because it really helps you focus on, in with the positive, out with the negative, right? Each time your exhale, breathe out, say a number to yourself. Count 10 exhalations and so on, in groups of 10 if needed, just to get yourself grounded, right? Breathe in white light and use other imagery you find calming. While breathing, imagine or use pleasing aromas. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Good tips. We went over the boundaries, creating containers, creating an imaginary safe place, and in the here and now, and self-nurturing. We went into soothing deeds yesterday, and keeping busy, healthy distractions. Here's things to do if you're feeling, that things are just overwhelming and stuff. To keep busy, there's healthy distractions. Mend clothes, rearrange your furniture, decorate a room. Just different things like that. Make and put up a joy list. Play with a small child. Watch a sunset. Just to remember to do these little things that can bring a lot of joy into our lives and take our mind off of what we're thinking about. And that is really important. I think this is a good resource for people who have suffered from child abuse, and I would recommend it to anybody. Art and playful activity. Blow bubbles. Make a collage. Make artwork. Make a scrapbook with inspirational and empowering images. Learn to laugh at yourself. Things like that. Taking care of your body. Get sleep if you need it. Use aromatherapy. Get a facial or a massage. Eat something good for you. Go for a walk. Do a meditation or relaxation exercise. Listen to what your body needs. Ask yourself if you need to eat. Just these normal things, that we sometimes, get so overwhelmed and stressed that we forget to do the normal things, right? Physical exercise, do some yoga, exercise, or dance to expressive music. That's a very creative thing to do. I think that's a great idea. Run around and play. Clean the house. Clang pots and pans. Put on music and play the drums or bongos. Go out and kick a ball. Use a punching bag. Punch a pillow. Shake your body. Allow the fear, hurt, or anger to shake out of your arms and legs. Allow yourself to cry or moan in a safe, supportive place. I actually do lots of that. Breathe deeply to release heavy pain in the chest. Go somewhere safe and scream. Scream into a pillow. Stamp your feet. Pound with a tube, hose, or foam bat. Wring a towel. Swear into the toilet. Just different things you can do. Have a food fight. Things like that. So healing occurs in relationship. The feelings of shame, worthless, and isolation from the abuse wreaked havoc on relationships and connections to others. Eventually, it is through connections with people that the survivor gets on with life. So that's very important. We do need to reach out. I've got about a minute left, and I would just ask that, if you are suffering, that you would just reach out to anywhere. There's resources out there, Dream Catchers for Abused Children. I'm a volunteer with them, and I would suggest their website to anybody. They have some great information on there, and they're going to have a Blog Talk Radio show coming up January 15th. Jonica Shear hosting with another host, a co-host. And you can find them on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Just start typing in DreamCatchersForAbusedChildren.com in your browser, and it'll come right up, and you can get all the information there. There are lots and lots of resources. There's www.artbylindalee.com. She's a survivor. She has a great website, lots of resources, child abuse survivor resources. And she's also one of the participants in the Child Abuse Monument, and she's a friend of mine. And go check her website out and sign her guest book. Make sure you sign her guest book, because she is just to stand with her and show some support, because she's a really nice lady, and her website is awesome. So please do that. And there is suicide crisis and suicide prevention information at www.suicide.org, and also, and that's Kevin Caruso at www.suicide.org, and it's www.suicideinfo.ca. Well, I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 5:30. We got less than a minute left. I'm also a member of Silver Braid Survivors. You can just type in Silver Braid. The Silver Braid organization started up by Ann Bissell, and there's a network within there. There's so many networks within Silver Braid. There's got to be some information that can help you. And just make sure you reach out and get the help that you need. And I'm just hoping that that you have a great day, and I'm hoping you can join me again. And until then, take care.